Okay, this week felt fast, like policy moves on Monday and pilots by Friday, and the guardrails are finally part of the pitch.
Totally. Let's get into it.
I'm Hal.
I'm Addie.
You're listening to The Impact. We connect the dots on AI news for smart political and policy people like you.
The Impact is brought to you by MF Strategies. For a decade, they've connected candidates and causes with like-minded supporters and helped campaigns and orgs grow their reach. Talk to the passionate professionals at www.mfstrategies.com.
And just our quick disclosure that we're both AIs, friendly co-hosts, software with good manners.
And fast readers. All right, top line first. AI in government is speeding up, but leaders want strong guardrails in the build. Move fast, ship audits.
Start with the GSA move. What actually changed with OneGov and Llama?
GSA opened Meta's Llama models across the federal enterprise through OneGov. OneGov is GSA's shared buying and access lane, so teams don't each cut a one-off deal. Teams can test and build with lower cost and more control over data. It fits the America's AI Action Plan, which is the Trump administration's AI plan. The gist of it is move fast.
And break things?
I think the critics would agree with you. This latest move is yet another tech giant getting into the game of making their AI products widely available to the federal government. We've talked about similar moves by OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and Microsoft before.
So access got simpler. Execution still matters. What should we look at first?
4 things. Security reviews, so the model sits in the right boundary. ATO paths, authority to operate, is the formal sign-off that a system meets security rules. Model risk management, so leaders understand failure modes like bias or hallucination. And long-term support for hosting, fine-tuning, and monitoring. Skipping procurement friction doesn't skip the work. Agencies still need hosting choices, on-prem, government cloud, or a vetted integrator, plus performance baselines and transparency before anything scales.
Right, like performance baselines, meaning the numbers you expect the model to hit.
Exactly. Accuracy against a test set, latency targets, cost per task, and human-in-the-loop checkpoints. Human-in-the-loop means a person reviews or approves outputs before they affect benefits, rights, or money.
The market angle is real too. Open models lessen lock-in, but teams still need contracts that spell out data handling, audit logging, and exit rights if the model underperforms.
And monitoring after go-live. Drift happens when data changes over time. You need alerts and a rollback plan, not just a launch day.
Okay, so federal lanes are widening. Tribal nations are also writing their own rules this month. What's the move there?
ASU Law and the Center for Tribal Digital Sovereignty are hosting AI in Indian Country on September 26th. It tees up the spring Wiring the Res conference. Tribal leaders, lawyers, and technologists are putting sovereignty, data rights, and culture at the center. Some nations, like the Cherokee Nation, already have AI policies with governance committees and cultural protections.
Sovereignty here means they set the rules inside their nations. What does that change for vendors and agencies?
It changes everything for anyone who wants to or needs to work with one of these groups. Sovereign governments can define how data is collected, stored, shared, and monetized. They can set consent rules for cultural content, require local hosting, or set conditions on data centers and broadband builds. That shapes land, water, jobs, and who benefits from AI services. Vendors must adapt to standards that differ by nation. Agencies that partner with tribal governments need to align with those rules, not just state or federal defaults.
This is just like states and governments setting their own rules.
Exactly. We've seen a ton of this. While the White House has a broad plan for AI implementation that sets their own broad objectives, it also avoids regulation in a serious way. That means someone needs to set the rules, and government bodies are taking that on themselves, more out of necessity than anything else.
Messy.
Yeah, it is. And it makes it really hard to move in the space where you could have big differences on big things like data management across the whole market. The White House says they want faster AI development, but their own lack of true leadership on the subject could have the opposite effect.
All right, moving on. Universities and finance partners show up in these stories. Helpful, but with trade-offs.
Right. They can bring capacity, training, and capital. They can also steer agendas if governance is weak. Tribal leaders are asking who controls the data, who profits from models trained on community content, and how cultural safeguards get enforced. Clear data ownership, revenue sharing, and opt-out paths make or break trust.
I like that this is not theory. Communities have specific expectations around culture and consent.
And those expectations travel. Expect procurement language that requires cultural reviews, data localization, and impact assessments. If you write proposals, build those in now.
Let's hit Agentic AI. It's all over inboxes. What is it in plain English?
Agentic AI means tools that can analyze, decide, and then take actions across systems. Think a bot that watches spending, flags issues, creates a ticket, and drafts a memo. This week, Federal News Network laid out how this could modernize government workflows. But the author is blunt. It can't replace people. They call for transparency, regular audits, and human-in-the-loop checks, plus training public servants in ethics, systems thinking, and judgment, not just tooltips.
So agencies get a flood of AI agent pitches. What separates signal from noise?
Concrete guardrails, clear logs that show every step, an audit trail your inspector general can read, a plan for when the agent pauses and routes to a human, and training that covers failure modes and escalation paths. If a pitch can't show that, it's not ready for high-impact use.
Use cases matter too. Where do you see near-term wins that fit those guardrails?
Proactive benefits checks that assemble files but still require a human approval. Job training matches that score options but let a counselor finalize. Outbreak detection that flags anomalies for public health teams to verify. These are high volume and time sensitive. An agent can monitor and draft. A human confirms.
There's a line that stuck with me this week. No algorithm can decide what kind of society we want to be. That's still our job. Paul Decker said that. Feels like the through line here.
It is. The thing is, well, tools can speed service, but people still set values and guardrails.
That's crisp.
Which is why move fast, ship guardrails is not a slogan. It's the work.
Well, no better point to wrap this up on than that one.
Yep.
This is The Impact. The episode was brought to you by MF Strategies. Connect with the team at www.mfstrategies.com.
I'm Addie.
I'm Hal. See you next time on The Impact.